You've seen how microorganisms can cause several diseases. So we need to take active steps to prevent or control them. What can we do to keep harmful microorganisms away? It's straightforward. Antiseptics and disinfectants are chemicals that can keep microorganisms away. Antiseptics work by slowing down or stopping the growth of really harmful microorganisms. Disinfectants work the same way, but they contain very strong chemicals and are only used on non-living surfaces like floors, tiles, and countertops. Antiseptics can be applied to the body. For example, to clean up germs from an injury site, and they can be added to things like water that will be used on the body because they contain milder chemicals that are less likely to irritate the body. So don't mix them up. Antiseptics for the body, disinfectants for non-living surfaces. There are other chemicals called antibiotics. Antibiotics are produced by some fungi and bacteria. They can be used to prevent the growth of bacteria or treat bacterial infections only. Antibiotics cannot kill viruses at all. Penicillin is one effective antibiotic that is produced by a fungus called Penicillium chrysogenum. Antibiotics must only be used based on a doctor's prescription. Food is one major way harmful microorganisms can be transmitted. So it is important to handle food properly. Food, especially meat, fish, and eggs, must be properly cooked at a relatively high temperature because most microorganisms transmitted through food can be killed at such high temperatures. It is also important to cover food and drinks properly to prevent flies from perching on them. Milk must be pasteurized before consumption, so unpasteurized raw milk must never be consumed. Pasteurization is the use of low heat to kill microorganisms in food, drinks, and even water. We would also need to wash food like fruits before eating. Then, wash and cook raw grains properly before consumption. It is very important to preserve food well. There are many ways we can preserve food. We can sun-dry or oven-dry them. Drying removes water which is required by microorganisms to survive. We can salt some food like fish and meat. This is called salting, and it prevents microorganisms from growing and multiplying in food. Refrigeration and cold freezing are other ways of preserving food. Remember, if you find mold on bread or your leftover food, throw it away quickly. Then there's water. Water is very essential to life, but unfortunately, it is the perfect medium for the transmission of harmful microorganisms. So we need to drink only clean, treated water. If it's not possible to find clean, treated water directly, then we must treat the water we obtain from taps, boreholes, wells, rivers, and streams by boiling and filtering with clean materials before we consume them. Children's toys and other items that are likely to be contaminated with microorganisms must be disinfected. This can be done by soaking them in boiling water and drying them afterwards. So we've seen how we can control the spread of microorganisms with the use of antiseptics, disinfectants, and antibiotics. We've also seen that we need to cook and preserve food well, drink only potable water, and disinfect contaminated items. There are still a couple of other things we can do to control microorganisms. We'll do this soon.